Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to talk to you about a book called Heart of Darkness. This book, if you haven't read it already, you will read it in high school or in college. It's just one of those required books that you will be expected to read at some point. And if for some reason you don't read it in school, I suggest reading it on your own, but maybe asking someone for help who has read it before. So, Heart of Darkness is by Joseph Conrad, and when I was in high school, the book was available in PDF format on the internet, so I don't know if it still is, but you guys can check. And if you don't mind reading on the computer, personally, I like a physical copy, but it's available, or it might be. So this book is not as thick as it looks. It's only 95 pages, like not less than half of this, but there are some like essays and critiques and stuff in here about it. So this book is known as being as complicated as it is because the guy who wrote it is multilingual. I don't remember how many language he knows, but if I'm right, English is like his third language. And it's not that he's incorrect with grammar or anything like that. That is so the opposite of the case. Even grown adults need a dictionary beside them to get through this book. Like on the first page, if I remember right, there were like 10 words I didn't know. Right when I find it, the book closes. Okay, maybe not the very first page, but the second page. Word mizzenmast. I'm guessing that's part of a ship, because it has the word mast in it, and the main character starts out speaking on a boat. He's on a ship in the ocean. Diaphanous. Diaphanous? Do you guys know what that word means? Because I don't. So anyway, you get the idea. So this book is about a guy named Marlowe and his sort of adventure trying to find this guy named Kurtz, who's supposed to be this really awesome guy or whatever that can help him. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys this because it's kind of confusing to figure out. So there shouldn't be any spoilers in this video, but if you're nervous, you don't have to watch. So the book starts out with Marlowe on a ship. Then you realize there's this man on the ship with Marlowe listening to Marlowe speak. And he's the one that's telling the story. So Marlowe is telling his story and what happened to him, but that's not what you're reading. What you're reading is the guy listening to Marlowe and basically explaining how Marlowe's explaining the story. So it's a narrative within a narrative. Yeah, a bit confusing. I don't think anyone's ever written a book quite like that before. Now, you will hear many horrible things about this book, like how boring it is and yada yada. But let me tell you, I don't think it's necessarily boring. I think the difficulty of it makes it more frustrating, which makes it more boring than people may enjoy. I'd really like to reread this book though. Another thing I want to warn you about are the themes and motifs and symbols and things like that are in the book. As far as I remember, this book is known for having cannibalism in it. So if that makes you uncomfortable, I suggest you read the book anyway, but just be warned. There is cannibalism, there is sexism, and I believe there's also racism. So overall, I say go for it. Please read this book. You can wait till high school because I didn't read this book till senior year of high school and I was taking an AP Lit class. It might be helpful to read it on your own first because even if it is extremely confusing, reading it a second time will be a little easier, especially with guidance. And look at that. I still kept all my notes and assignments with notes about Heart of Darkness. This is not nearly as much as was assigned, I don't think, but this is what I found and what I've kept with the novel. That's another thing I suggest. Any book you read in school that you take notes on or do assignments on and you get really good grades on, fold them up and keep them with the novel. It is really nice to have those. It's helpful if you're having trouble reading it a second time or third or fourth or whatever. And it's also fun to go back and see the notes you took. So if you have any suggestions for the next vlog, let me know, or the next blog, let me know. It was great talking to you guys again. See you next time.